recording, and I can stop definitely.
Yeah.
Stop description. But you can work. I don't heard for this company plain concept that is in Hessen, in Germany. Yes.
That's a Spanish company.
A
Plain
Spanish.
Concepts is a Spanish
I
company.
didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a Spanish company. Something like a consultant company. So basically, but we are, let's say, we are a team inside the company, but we work for another, so to say, external projects. Not that we are sold as you know, like we are not doing a body shopping, but really like a projects.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
And mostly with Microsoft Azure, with C#, .NET, Python, React, that
great.
kind of stuff. Yeah, like very Microsoft oriented. And we are one of the companies that have, I think, most of the MVPs in Europe. Like I know last year or something like that was around 15 MVPs.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Definitely, because that is a challenge.
It's not easy to catch them all.
Yes, that is
like
Monil, that is a great question. And one of my idea is in the next workshop to covering Sentinel as a part of infrastructure as a code using IRM. And definitely thank you for your question. One of my idea definitely in that way. But today we have actually agenda for this workshop, and we are focused with definitely concept how we plan building production or ready for infrastructure on Microsoft Azure with some specific template like Bicep and Terraform, and definitely that is our focus today. But for the next workshop and some practical work, yes, that is very interesting topics. Okay, we have 2 minutes to start today workshop, and I make some introduction, very little, and after that the audience is yours.
No worries.
Okay, you have a lot of invitation today for this workshop. I saw in your LinkedIn profile, and my expectation to be more people today for this workshop.
Sorry, what's your expectation? You were cut.
My expectation to be more participants.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
I also
yes.
expect. Yeah. Yes. There was like 112 or something like that.
I don't like. I don't like specific work time for workshop 5 p.m. because a lot of people work from in company and back from home, leave. And that is yes, that is not good. But this time is I think very good. Okay. Now is 6 p.m. I would like to introduce for today a great speaker from my side, my dear colleague Igor Iric. Igor is senior cloud solution architect and also senior software engineer for Plan Concept company, and in the next 1 hour and 30 minutes, my expectation to see a great presentation or workshop, how we plan the concept to building production ready for infrastructure on Microsoft Azure using some automatic cloud deployment with infrastructure as a code. Thank you very much all of us to join for this workshop today. And Igor, thank you also for you for this very amazing workshop, and audience is yours. We are listening to you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Uroš. So yes, as Uroš already said, like we will try to cover some basics of automating the deployments on Azure with infrastructure as a code. So basically, I will try to show you how does the IRM template looks like and the Bicep template. And also I will try to go a little bit through the Terraform and explain you something about it. We'll also show you on GitHub how to use GitHub Actions. When we deploy the whole infrastructure on Azure, I will also try to show you how to deploy your static web app and a C# application as a web app service, also Azure Function and so on, and how it interacts with Azure Service Bus to save some messages inside Cosmos DB and so on and so on. So basically, this is, let's say, I would really say like 90% of all companies who are starting with their infrastructure on Azure, if those are web-based applications, they are pretty much like this. Then they evolve. They evolve or in microservices or I don't know in which direction. But anyway, so you can then extend it with Kubernetes, with sorry, with I don't know, Azure containers or whatever you want. So basically, but you always need to have some kind of starting point. You will not build a monster at the beginning, of course, but you will start, let's say, with the baby steps and then go further and further. So thank you all so much for coming, for participating. Today now I will just show you a little bit our agenda, and then I will introduce myself. So as I already said, like, okay, on the agenda, we will have welcome and introduction, as I already welcomed you, introduction of myself, and I have already introduced a little bit what we will do here. Why choose Azure for production environment, overview of the IRM template. Then there in between, I will show you about the GitHub and GitHub Actions and so on, and live demo of deploying the infrastructure, also a live demo of deploying all other applications which are needed, then the deep dive into components, and then what can you do also with those templates, so extending and customizing the templates. So if you want to, as I said, add AKS or so Azure Kubernetes services, or I don't know, Azure Container Services for Docker, for who knows, some best practices and tips and Q&A session. So as Uroš already announced, I'm Igor Irić, I'm Cloud Solutions Architect and Senior Software Engineer. I work at Plain Concepts right now. So I'm also an author of a book, GitHub for Next Generation Coders. There I have covered for everyone who's starting with GitHub and DevOps and Git at all. So how to start from very, very beginning through how to build your first repository, how to start building a basic website, like a portfolio website with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, like very basics. And then all the way through GitHub Actions and then through GitHub Copilot. So basically to help you building the code further using the AI. Not beside that, I'm working as a C# developer, also implementation of AI projects in very big companies as a, so to say, consultant. Yeah, and also like the architecture on Azure. So pretty much everything. So from building the whole architecture on Azure until deploying all the applications or building the applications and deploying them. Yeah, so much about me. what are we going to learn today? Excuse, just a second. I'm so sorry. There is someone. Just a second.
Yes, definitely a great agenda, and your mention forbidding production read infrastructure on Azure, you can use also Copilot, but definitely my question was for you, but you can answer for this workshop. Definitely, which Copilot? I assume that is Microsoft Copilot for Azure, because Microsoft Copilot for Azure designed to help you quickly to build some custom infrastructure for workload and provide definite template scripts to help you to deploy. And that is my question for you, because you are absent in some second, but which Copilot you are using for this? And I assume that is Microsoft Copilot in Azure.
You meant for the book, or in what I no in
or GitHub.
what I explained for GitHub? I was mentioning
Okay.
more GitHub Copilot. So basically, how to use the GitHub Pilot in the book is explained, and how to help you building the code. So basically, any kind of code, so whatever you want, and then it will just help you or guide you how to write better code and so on. But you should not rely on it so deeply, because it's there to help you and not to write everything for you. You still need to have a lot of knowledge in order to check if the code is right and so on, to test it and so on, and not just
that is amazing tool, because a lot of developer in my company using and interact with this developer. I
exactly.
also have chance to see some advantage for this tool. That is amazing. Please continue.
Sorry, I had to to open the door as I'm alone at home now, having this meetup. It's, how is it when you work also remote or from home? Sorry for it. Yeah, so what are you going to learn today? Why Azure? How to make app registration in Entra ID for two-factor authentication. We will definitely need it, because, of course, you all know that security is the most important thing. So you should not allow your applications to be accessed without any kind of authentication system. And definitely in these times, even the two-factor authentication could be let's say hacked. But anyway, it's like, the most the highest level, or one of the highest levels of security for authenticating on your applications and so on. Then introduction to infrastructure as a code. What are GitHub Actions? So I'll talk also about GitHub Actions. How do you set up them? Why are they so useful, and how to automate everything with them? I will not concentrate on Azure DevOps this time, but only on GitHub Actions, because it's much easier for you now to because I think most of you have GitHub accounts, and this is one of the prerequisites, of course. And the prerequisites should also be that you have Azure account on Azure portal, so that you can work also here with me. Because I will share a repository where you sorry, where you have everything inside the repository. Everything is ready for you to pretty much to use it for your next production ready application and environment. Then how to deploy your production ready environment, live demo, and also the deep dive into components. Good. So now let's start. Why choose Azure for production environments? Of course, because I'm mostly in Azure. and I'm Microsoft certified or Azure certified architect. I mean, not because of that, of course, but let's say Azure is very intuitive to use. It's very easy to use. It has, of course, global reach. It's one of the best cloud hyperscalers. It's available in multiple regions worldwide. It has high scalability. Of course, also high security, and you can use Azure Defender and Azure policies to secure everything. Also, you can use infrastructure as a code to deploy your infrastructure. I mean, you can use it pretty much on every cloud, but anyway, like it has its own infrastructure as a code ready framework, so to say, a Bicep and also IRM. They are very, very intuitive and very easy to use. You can use also Terraform. So you can use Azure DevOps to deploy your applications and to deploy your infrastructure. You can use Azure GitHub to deploy everything on Azure. So there is a lot of benefits of using Microsoft Azure. Now I will try to introduce a little bit IRM templates to you, also Terraform and Bicep and GitHub Actions. First, I can say a little bit about IRM templates and Terraform and so on. Maybe later on I can show or share some links with you where you can learn a little bit more about it. But let's say the IRM templates, they are JSON-based templates where you can define all your resources for Azure, and then you can deploy them. You can deploy them using Azure DevOps. You can deploy them using GitHub Actions, but you can also deploy them directly on Azure. Like there is an option like use custom template, and then you can even directly on Azure you can write IRM template and then deploy it. You can even download the IRM template directly from the Azure, and then you see like your whole environment, your whole infrastructure. You can see how it's structured in the IRM template. It's very easy to use. It's very intuitive. Then the Terraform, the Terraform is mostly for multi-cloud, so to say. It's I would say it's one of the most used frameworks let's say frameworks to build infrastructure on any kind of cloud. You can use it on Azure, you can use it on Google, you can use it on Amazon. It's an open source. So you have a lot of examples. You can have huge community, so whatever is needed you can easily find why it doesn't work, why your deployment is not working properly or anything else. It saves the state. So basically whenever you change something for any kind of resource, you will so it will not destroy the resource and redeploy it again to have everything new, but basically it will save the state of it and then just update it or remove the things from it and so on and so on. What else? The Bicep is also an open source domain specific language for deploying Azure resources. So basically there you can also pretty much as in Terraform or IRM templates, you can also like define your resources for Azure, but Bicep is built only for Azure. So it's not multi-cloud, but basically only for Azure. Anyway, it's also a great tool. I also highly recommend it because if you are going to use Azure, it's, I would say, much better because you have all the newest features which are getting out on Azure. They will be covered in Bicep. In Terraform, sometimes you need to wait a little bit longer. It was also like an issue with OpenAI when it came out on Azure. It was not immediately there on Terraform, so it was, a little bit tricky to deploy it with Terraform. And GitHub Actions. So GitHub Actions are basically it's a workflow which you are so you build a workflow on GitHub, and then you are adding the actions which will basically build the application, for example, deploy the application on Azure and so on, or in this case also like check the whole infrastructure and then deploy the infrastructure on the Azure. You can automate everything with GitHub Actions. You can test everything. You can check the code, even for Terraform, for example. If you want to check if everything is formed properly, you can use Checkov or any other kind of tools which are checking your infrastructure. If you want, I can already show a little bit how it looks like, and then we can continue with the presentation. Let me just show it. So quickly to go through it. So this is the IRM template.
Sorry, I would like to emphasize that is a great slide, how you see comparison, but in concept of Terraform, you must very familiar and very careful in handling to avoid some conflict and ensure consistency, because you have state file management. And that is definitely but okay, no state file, but definitely maybe that is disadvantage, but with the point of view, you in a concept of advantages of Bicep, you have management for definitely very small group of project and teams. And I totally agree with you. And this slide is very good comparison of this template, what is using in day-to-day operation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So as I said, I will just show you quickly. So basically, as you see, the IRM template is a JSON file. There you start. So you define your resources. For example, here you for example, here you can see that I have started with virtual networks and also with network security groups. So basically why it's important, if you don't want your application to be easily accessed from outside world, then you will start building the virtual networks and network security groups also to control inbound and outbound network and so on and so on. Also, you will you can configure everything. Basically, what do you want to deny or allow and so on. I didn't made too much because it's pretty much only for the demo, so to show you that you can already do pretty much everything with IRM templates and with all other with Bicep and Terraform. But anyway, it's just there, so you can already have a feeling that you can configure pretty much everything. Then here I'm setting a server for the Azure Function. The Y1 is basically for let's say a consumption plan for the Azure Function. Then also a server, sorry, for the app service, the S1 standard. Then the application insights, which will be used for the for Azure Function and also for the app service. Then Azure Key Vault. So pretty much you can, as I said, you can define everything what you need here. Also, as you see here, a service bus. So you create the service bus, you create the service bus topic, then the website or app service. You can already configure the application insight instrumentation key, the connection strings to application insight, the connection string to service bus, to Key Vault, a lot of other stuff like Cosmos DB, a static web app. So here, for example, what's very convenient on Azure and very cool feature, I would say, when you have when you want to deploy a static website. It's basically a React application or Angular or something like that, like your front end, let's say. As soon as you give a repository URL from your GitHub and a token, then it will automatically create a GitHub action for you, and it will deploy it on the Azure for you. So in your web static in static web app, you will see it also. We will cover it. The storage account also here for the Azure Function and so on and so on. Here is the Azure Function. So then we can show a little bit a Bicep. As you see, Bicep looks a little bit different. So it's not a JSON file, and it's not structured as a JSON. It's a little bit different, but pretty much the same approach. So you are configuring your infrastructure like virtual network, security groups, what you can allow and deny. Also a server for the app service, for the Azure Function application insights, key vault. So pretty much everything the same, what you can do in ARM templates, just a different approach. Also here is the Terraform. In the Terraform looks, I would say, a little bit, or not the same, but it goes in the direction of the Bicep, or Bicep goes in the direction of the Terraform, how it's structured and configured. So as you see here also, like creating the virtual network on the Azure, creating the security group, all the rules, what can be allowed and denied, the app service plan, the server for the app service plan for the function, then application insight, the key vault, the service bus, topic in the service bus, then the Azure App Service, IP restrictions, for example. You can already configure pretty much everything, and also like application settings inside. Maybe it's a little bit nicer to see how it's configured, and then the JSON file. It's much more convenient. And now at the end, we can also see the GitHub action. You can have a README file for everything here. Basically, this repository, I will share with all of you the repository. It's also shared on the LinkedIn, but anyway, I will share it again. So how to create the resource group, how to create the storage account for the Terraform, basically to save the Terraform state in the storage container, how to update the main TF file with everything you just created, to add the GitHub secrets, and so on and so on. And then at the end, so here is the Terraform. Here is the GitHub action for deploying the Terraform. So as I already explained a little bit, so GitHub action is basically a workflow formed, or let's say this is a workflow which is constructed of few GitHub actions, which are here. Basically, so this is, let's say, a GitHub action to log into Azure with the credentials, then GitHub action also here to check out the code, and basically to deploy the Terraform and so on, to take everything what's needed to configure the Terraform state, to configure Azure credentials, and so on and so on, and then at the end to apply it and to deploy it. I can also show you, let me see just what's on agenda, but definitely I can show you how to create the GitHub actions and also a marketplace. But let's just let's just back on the slides to see what's next. Yeah, so basically this is the overview of the architecture which will be deployed using the RM template. Like as already explained a little, what the services we will have. So you will have a static web app. So it's your front end. The user can access the static web app, and then it has basically to it should use the two-factor authentication to authenticate, and then to send the bearer token to the backend in order to, let's say, send some messages or whatever. It will be taken from the Entra ID or former Azure Active Directory. Then, of course, we have an firewall which will allow some IP addresses or disallow them or whatever. So you can configure whatever you want there. Then we also have Azure Function. For example, when you send a message through your backend, the message should go to the Azure Service Bus, and then the Azure Function will collect that message and write it in the Azure Cosmos DB or in the Azure Storage account. In my example on the GitHub, I haven't, so I removed saving for the Azure Storage account. So that's something for you if you want to use it to save the message also there. But anyway, so basically it's like what it would do. Also to take secrets from the key vault if it's needed for app service and for Azure Function. Also application insights to track everything, to monitor everything what's happening in the Azure Function app and app service and so on. So this is like a high-level overview of the architecture, and of course here the GitHub action pipelines which are deploying the static web app and the whole infrastructure basically if you automate it. Yeah, so then basically we have a slide about why use GitHub Actions. I mean, I have already explained it. It's very convenient to use. It's a great tool to automate your deployments. So not that you need to every time, I don't know, push everything through Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio whenever you change your code. I mean, it's definitely not convenient if you're working in a team. Whenever you push your code in GitHub repository, then it will basically build and deploy everything to that GitHub to that Azure service, which you are building. Is it app service or is it a function? Doesn't matter. Or if you are
sorry, Igor. Yeah. Alex, I have some question for you because he raised a hand. Please, Alex.
Okay.
Alex, do you hear us? You raised the hand for. Okay. He's mute, but please continue.
Good.
Maybe some problem with. Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, you can continue, and Alex, you also have make.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, yes, Alex. Please, please.
Hello again. I just want to continue on the story regarding the Terraform, because now currently we are facing the problems with the Terraform because infrastructure that needs to be built, Terraform cannot cover everything. So pretty much OpenAI, as you mentioned, and Azure Bot Service. Some of the integration regarding the app insights and Azure Bot is not implemented yet on the Terraform. So all our team now needs to get decision to go to Bicep, because as you mentioned, everything is up to date. So you get the point with that mention.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's still open source, but it's covered, let's say, by Microsoft. You know, it's then whatever new comes out for Azure, of course, it will be covered there immediately. So they just follow up. But I'm not sure. So if I mean, maybe it will be a good decision for you to move to Bicep. But I know that we also had a problem regarding the OpenAI. But I think it was already like a year ago or something like that, or let's say some months. Anyway, I think it should be already covered. But don't hold my word. I have no idea anymore.
It's some networking stuff with the energies.
Yeah. I know that the networking is.
Yeah, but some things with the Azure Bot Service, you know, Azure Bot Service is already there for a few years, and it's strange to me that we cannot pass API key of App Insights to the Azure Bot, like we can on the Blade, but we are avoiding to doing the things ClickOps. So now everything needs to be automated, but it's hard. It's a lot post deployment activities with the Terraform if we are deploying something on Azure. So
good. Then you have a decision.
Yeah.
Try to convert everything to Bicep, and maybe you will be more happier with it. Good. Thanks for this. Good. Let me just continue. So it was basically about why using GitHub Actions. So I just explained most of it. As also a very important thing, of course, GitHub Actions, they integrate directly with GitHub repositories. I mean, it's everything on GitHub, of course. You can reuse the workflows across projects, so you can build reusable workflows. It's very, very cool stuff. I will not cover it here. I mean, that's for some other meetup, maybe for regarding the GitHub. Who knows? Maybe I can later on create something like that. Good. A workflow overview. I have showed you a little bit about IRM, Bicep, and Terraform. I can show you later on regarding the React, C#, and Azure Function deployments regarding the GitHub Actions. Let's continue. The Bicep automation. Basically now we could even start with, so not to talk too much, we could even start, let's say, building everything on Azure, so to show a little bit and not only just to talk. Let me just show you baby steps. So what would you need first to do is basically to clone the repository if you want to start. I'm not sure what are you using for. Are you using the let's say the Git Bash or Azure or a PowerShell or whatever? But I really like the source tree. It's a great tool for the Git and for the repository and everything else. So I really like it and I use it a lot. So now you can clone your repo. Let me just. What is it? Hey. So wait. Now I pasted something else. Who knows what? Good. Let's clone it. Good. I will open it immediately in Visual Studio Code. What's also great with Bicep, for example, you can install extensions for the Bicep. I'm not sure if I have it already installed. No, I don't. And then it will pretty much help you when you are building your your Bicep template to help you basically to finish it faster. And yeah, I mean, it will it will help you much regarding it. Okay, so now I will open Azure portal. I hope you all have Azure account. I will just sign in with a different one. So I already have few resource groups here, but I will use this one. I will show you if you want, like, how to create a resource group. You choose your subscription. You specify the resource group name. Let's say Azure demo. And you specify the region wherever you want. I mean, you of course choose the closest one, which is the closest to your current location where you will host everything and where your audience will be. So your users, for example, if you live in Germany like I do, you will use, I don't know, German West Central or something similar. But anyway, I will not build it now. I already have it. And then here, I will show you quickly how to do it using IRM template. But first, of course, if you want to build your infrastructure using IRM template, you will need to change a few things because, of course, I have already tried to deploy this one with this name, and then it will not work for you because some of the resources are already deployed like this. So let me just change it to something more convenient. Or like this, let's say only in this one. Replace it with, yeah, also one thing to consider. When you are creating your resources, you can use Azure Learn naming convention. Not VMs, but abbreviation recommendations for Azure. So here you have pretty much for everything, you have naming conventions. So how you will name each of your services. So it's very good to follow this kind of things, because then it's easier for anyone to figure out what is this service without going to Azure. Basically, if it has to change something inside the IRM template or any other kind of template, so it's easier then to figure out, okay, what is this service now, what it does, and so on. So it's always good good practice to follow this. So I will also share the starter template with you. I wanted to change here. So now I will just save it, and I can deploy. So basically what you can do without any kind of automation, if you, I mean, of course, most probably you will automate everything with GitHub Actions or with Azure DevOps or whatever are you using, or Jenkins, I don't know. You will automate it, but also you can do it very quickly here. For example, when you click on create in your resource group, you can find here like custom template. And as you see, template deployment, deploy using custom template. And here, when you click create, you can already upload your template. Just let me see where have I. Where is it? In documents. Okay. And then you can just load the file. Infrastructure is okay here. And as you see, here is everything already prepared. And I will not deploy it yet. I have to change the repository for the GitHub for the static website. Let me just do that also. So I have already prepared a little repository for static web app React. It's pretty much similar to my website like this. So you can use it if you want for your own website. Just change the colors. So what is very important to do is to create a token. Just let me find it. Settings. Developer settings. Personal access token. Classic. Generate new token. Let me just authenticate. The token is basically there. It's like a service principal in Azure. Just let me authenticate here. With this token, you will give access basically to Azure to on behalf of you to create things on the repository or to use basically. I mean, you can select here whatever you want for this token to do, but in this case, we are giving the access to Azure to be able to create GitHub Actions and any other kind of stuff. So let's just so we will give discussions, audit log, code space, copilot. We will not give that. So just a few of them. Generate token. So this is your token. You will definitely need it for the now in Azure. Let me just find it. Your repo token. So we will use it here. And we also need to define the repository URL here. So it will be the repository of this one. So that's it. And then with this, I mean, yeah, here on the left side, you already see which resources will be created. I mean, you see the icons. It's a little bit more intuitive. So let's save it. Azure subscription. We have this. So this is my Azure subscription resource group, the region, and yeah, I need Active Directory client ID because in the template we already specified that our app service will use two-factor authentication, and to do that, I need to register the app in Entra ID. So I will do that quickly. Add app registration.
Ciao, hasta luego.
This we will set up later on, but for now it's just to register it and to have application ID. No, we need client ID, sorry. That's it. Okay. So here I have gave an client ID. Let's click next. And create. And I hope everything will work now. You know, how is it when you have demo? Like most of the things what could go wrong, they go wrong. So now it's creating the services. And we'll see when it creates everything. Okay, it already created most of it. And we can even check already. Look, there was nothing in this resource group. And look, now it's almost everything there. So now it's creating the Cosmos DB. The static web app is already there. We will also see if GitHub Action is already here. So before, before there was nothing in the repository. I mean, regarding the GitHub Actions. And now GitHub workflows, it created automatically the GitHub action for us. And it will deploy directly. And it even created for this repository, it even created automatically GitHub action secrets. So here is the secret for this repository in order to be able to deploy it on the GitHub, on the Azure as a static web app. And when you go here, you will see that it's building. Okay, there are some issues. Unfortunately, we can check it later on, but I can check it locally. What's the problem? But anyway, so it already did something, and here we will see if it already created everything. So deployment details. Yeah, look, every single service has been created, and it's already here. Here is your app service. You can try to access it on the URL, but I think you will not be able to do it because it's already secured by the network security group and also with the firewall, of course, as you see. It's forbidden. Also the Azure function, I think you will not be able to access anything. But anyway, let me just try to fix the this repository for you so you can use it if you want. So I will just try so that we deploy the application. This tool, the source tree, is a free tool, so you can use it without paying anything. So now we will open it. Yeah, Yanis, you raised the hand.
Can you show again how it created the GitHub workflow automatically?
It created as soon as I so basically, look here in the IRM template for the websites or for the static web app. Let me find GitHub. So here I just added the repository URL. So basically the one you copy for cloning the URL and your repository token. So what I was explaining, that you need to create the token for the repository like I did here. I mean, the token at all. So when you go to settings, then here to developer settings, and then you have here personal access tokens. You create a classic token, just generate new one and select basically here so that it can update GitHub actions and workflows, write packages, delete packages, and so on. and then you give that token. Basically, you paste it in here, your repository token, and then based on that, it will automatically create the GitHub action for you. So you don't need to do pretty much anything for it, for the static web app.
It knows which GitHub action to create, so automatically.
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
Oh. To build the application. I mean, it reads.
Yeah, it already reads basically if it's let's say a React app or Angular or something like that. So here I will just try to npm install and see what's the problem with the application. Why doesn't build? And we can also see basically why it fails. I haven't even looked. But in the meanwhile, I can also try to deploy the app service and Azure Function, so you can see how it also looks like. Let me see what's wrong here. I'm creating failed, or it has failed to build solution. Interesting. I hope it will work. Start worked, most probably. Anyway, I can quickly copy the GitHub action I already have for it. Let me just find it. I think I just need to ignore something. Back compiled with one warning. Look, it works basically locally. So something was wrong. I will just quickly fix the GitHub action maybe. See. Set also a workflow dispatch so I can run it whenever I want. So basically with this one, with this option here, you are setting so that you can run your GitHub action whenever you want. So it doesn't need to it doesn't need the code to be pushed basically if you want to deploy it. Build and deploy. Just change this. Let me just quickly fix this so we can see the see it in action. It will work now, but you never know. I have committed directly to the main branch. Of course, it's not the best thing to do, but anyway, for the sake of this one. Good. I will also try to deploy from here. As you see, we have app service, we have app function. My recommendation is to have, for the app service, is to have completely new repository. For the Azure function, also to have completely new repository. And then to add those GitHub actions here in this folder, like GitHub workflows, or basically just to go to the actions and then new workflow, and then you can copy from the from there. Like just a second. For example, here
you have raised hand from Moses. And
okay.
Moses, please.
Sorry,
the question.
I have not seen. Yeah.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Hi, good.
I just wanted to make a suggestion. Maybe you just check it while you run it directly from GitHub, GitHub Action. Then you can check the flow. Then it will tell you where the problem is. Maybe it could be independency problem or something. So that's why I just want to make a suggestion.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Anyway, just to come back to this one. So basically for the app service and for the GitHub action, for the Azure function, I recommend you basically to, as I said, to create already a new repository, and then you can just copy this GitHub action when you go to create, let's say, a new new GitHub action. So now I will try it also to deploy it directly from this Azure Starter template, but I will need to change some things. Yeah, also one very important thing, when you are working with App Service and Azure Function, they will need to be configured. So basically, in that case, so here, sorry, settings, environmental variables. From the GitHub action, to give the permission to configure all the environmental variables, you need to create a service principal. And also for deploying all your resources, or to redeploy your complete infrastructure from the GitHub actions, you need to have a service principal. To create service principal, I also have added it here in the repository, I think here somewhere for the Bicep, most probably. Yeah, create service principal. How to do it is basically you just need to log into Azure and then run this command. Of course, here you will just add your subscription ID, and then the service principal will be created for you. So I have already created one. It looks like this, Microsoft Entra ID. If you see here in app registration, I have already a GitHub action service principal, and then you will use it basically to give access to the GitHub action to interact with your Azure, to create services, to delete them, to update them, to configure them, and so on and so on. It's very important. So it's basically on behalf of you, it will do some things. Good. So here I will just change now settings, secrets and variables. Also in this repository, I have forgot to mention, you have pretty much everything what is needed to be done to create in GitHub in order to deploy it. So you need to let's just a second for the GitHub action. So you need to add basically all of these configurations, all of these environmental variables as secrets in order to deploy it properly. So if we go here again in the settings, secrets, actions, I will just try to change the credentials, function profile. And ID instance, tenant. Let me just do one thing. Also for deploying the app service and Azure Function, you need to download the publishing profile. Let me just show it to you. Where is the app service? Here it is. So you need it in order to deploy it properly. Just quickly download it. Come on. So here it is. So this is how it looks like. And then you will use it for deploying your app service here. Web app publish profile. So I will definitely need it. Update secret. And I will also most probably need to update the GitHub action for the app service. Let me see. Because I think I need to add exactly here to change the name and the resource group. Let me see how I named it. Okay. See if there is also, okay, yep. Good. I will just commit the changes now here directly, and you will see just cancel the other workflows, so not to interrupt here. Yeah, here I also have a GitHub action for deploying a Bicep. So I just added it before, and this is already like logging to Azure and deploying the Bicep template with the GitHub action. So it's also inside the directory, inside the repository here for the Bicep. So here you have this GitHub action. You just need to change basically which is the a resource group. You need to add that secret and Azure AD client ID and the subscription ID, and then it will deploy for you. For me, it's now deploying on another resource group, but anyway, just to show you how it's deploying. Okay, this doesn't work. You see why. Deploy. Publish profile is invalid for app name and slot name. That's interesting. Just download the profile again. Web app publish profile. Data secret. And let me just update the action once more. Web app publish profile. Here I haven't saved it. That's the problem, of course. Okay, now it should be added. Yeah, I was changing here and not in the GitHub action itself. Sorry. So now it should work. Azure function, I will just cancel it now. Yeah, here I wanted to show you regarding the Bicep. I think it deployed most of it, but only one was not deployed. Invalid resource location. Yeah, there is some issue for the service bus name with the West Europe and so on. I don't know why is it. Maybe because it's already deployed and there is some issue. But basically, the Bicep will just check if everything is there, redeploy if needed, or deploy new resources, and that's pretty much it. So it works pretty much the same as we have done the redeployment with the RM template. Good, so I will just come back to the GitHub Actions. And now you see Azure Web App has been deployed. We can go here and check again. Okay, look now, there is much more environmental variables inside, and but I think it used different ones here because I haven't changed them in my repository. But anyway, it should most probably work if we try to check it. Just need to do one thing from here to disable this. Because we will use in the code itself the authentication and the two-factor authentication. Let me see if the application is accessible. No, it's not. We need to add in the firewall. Okay. Enable. I just need to enable access from my own IP address. Let me just check what is my IP address. Good. So let's see. We will be able to access it now. I think 1.5 hours for configuring everything here is not enough. But as you see here, it's already deployed. You see the Swagger, and then it should be connected with Azure Service Bus in order to send the message. So then you can just try it out and write a message here, and then it should go basically to Azure Service Bus. And then the Azure function should digest that message from the Azure Service Bus, which is here. Just a second. So here is the service bus. Then the Azure function will digest it and then save it to the Cosmos DB. Here is the Cosmos DB. So I can show you maybe on the on another example, but let me just also update the here the action for deploying the Azure function, just quickly to show you also that, and then you can try it, and also to see if the another one has been deployed. Where is it? Static web app. If that worked with another GitHub action. No, it didn't work. I don't know why now. We need to check. I don't have too much time for everything. This is strange. To compile. Contact section JS. Okay, maybe that's the problem. There is a problem here. Let's see just quickly. Href. Just quickly remove this all. I know it's not convenient like to do things like this, but anyway, it's quicker just to fix it. Of course, never commit directly to the main branch, but for the demo purpose, I will just do it. And of course, always write meaningful messages for the commits. Good. Let me just try to deploy the GitHub action, Azure function, and then I can demonstrate to you how it looks like basically when everything is up and ready. Yeah, so here let's go to the Azure function. So basically, what do you need to do in order to also deploy Azure function with your GitHub Actions is also again download the published profile, open it. That's the one. Add it to the secrets here. So I already have for the function app created, so it's very easy to create repository secrets. So just click here and then create the new, add the name and then add the secret here. I will just change this one, update the secret, and then I will change the GitHub action directly. GitHub workflows. Azure function. I will just edit it quickly and change the name. Okay, so basically what it will do, it will build up the Azure function, add all the environmental variables which is needed, and that's it. Then the function is ready, up and ready. Oh, this was not it. Anyway, I will show it to you when everything is deployed, how it looks like. So as we don't have too much time anymore, I will just switch here. So basically, for the static web app, you can even add your custom domain. For example, I have added my own custom domain, and then it can be visited on this website. Or from here, you can just go to your static web app when it's deployed from the GitHub action. And here it is. So basically, this is the one that should be deployed. Then, I will just open, for example, the service bus to demonstrate how how the message is sent from the backend and how it's digested from the Azure function and how it's also added to the Cosmos DB. So I will also open the Cosmos DB. And here, where is the app service? Just give me a moment to load. Yeah, so we just see if everything else is opened. Service bus, entities. I will open topics because we are sending to the topic. And then we will also go to the Service Bus Explorer just to see the messages. So for now, there are no messages. I will try to send one quickly. This is done. Okay, I will execute it. So here, I think it's already, most probably already digested, but let me just see in the Data Explorer if it's already there. So the Azure function should already digest that message. Sorry, here receives messages. It's most probably already in the Cosmos DB. And here, let me see. Find it. So maybe the Azure function, I broke it. Let me see. You can also see all the messages which are not okay. It should be digested. It should be already there. Let me see. So basically, when the Azure function digests the message, it should save it here in the Cosmos DB. There is a lot of messages, test messages. Interesting. There are no more. Oof. The app plot. Come on. Failed to fetch. To fetch. Of course, failure. Maybe there is a configuration issue. No. should work. Strange. So there is some kind of a small problem why the message has not been sent. I don't know why now. This is always with the demos. Whenever you want to demo something, it doesn't work. Good. I think we have only 9 minutes more. I even wanted to create some pause, but it was not possible to put everything inside this. So sorry for this. I was not able to show how it properly works, but I think you got the feeling how it works. So that the backend should send the message that deployment of the front end or static web app should be deployed in the static web app. It should automatically add the GitHub action, and then basically you just have to add your code for the app service, for the function, and so on, and then it's up to you what you will do there. So basically, if you will use Service Bus, if the messages will be processed here or there or anywhere, what you will do with it, where it should be saved, and so on and so on. Also for the Terraform automation, unfortunately, we have no time, because then we also need to create the storage account for storing the Terraform state. And yeah, it's too much of everything just to have it there. So I tried to make the live demo of deploying React app. Unfortunately, there was an issue in the code. I just need to fix it. And anyway, I will share the sorry, where is it? I'll share the repository with you. If you want, you can use it. You know how the website will look like. Also, if you, yeah, I know I can check App Insights and so on, but no time for it now. We only have 7 minutes. If you want, you can propose the pull request if you find out what the problem is. In this short period of time, it's very hard now to pinpoint everything and to go over it. So I think I shared also the all other repositories with you. Then what else? Deploying C#.
Sorry, you have some question from John.
I know. I will just come back to the questions. So deploying API Azure App Service, at least that worked. Also the Azure Function, how to deploy the Azure Function. Then deep dive into components. So basically, I just tried a little bit to explain about app service. What is it? It's a backend. It's your API, which will then serve for, I don't know, sending the messages. Azure Function will digest the message through the service bus and then save it to the Cosmos DB. In Key Vault, you can save your secrets and so on. And then we would go through the extending and customizing the template. So basically, if you want to add more in the template, in the RM template or Bicep template, like as I said, AKS services or any other services, if you want to add a new function or whatever is needed, or logic apps, or I don't know, you name it. And then the best practices and tips. To use Azure Defender always for the security, to use the Azure policies, to use the Checkov or Prisma Cloud tools to check your code and so on. I mean the infrastructure, the cost management, really to be careful about what are you deploying and which service plans are you using, so not to have high costs. And then if you want to learn more about GitHub Actions and GitHub itself, I can recommend you my book I wrote recently. It came out like a few days ago or a few weeks ago. If you want to learn more about Azure, you have very good book, Azure for Architects, also for the Terraform cookbook. It's also highly recommended, and GitHub Actions in Action from Michael Kaufmann. Great book if you want to learn GitHub Actions more. So now it's your turn. I know it's not, there is no too much time, but yeah, that's how it is, unfortunately. So I don't know who was first, who raised raised the hand first. John?
Yeah, thank you very much for this session. Thank you very much. I just want to find out if there's any recording that we could actually, just go through it again.
Sorry, I haven't understood properly. So can you
repeat? I'm just asking if there's any recording for this session, so I could actually go through again.
Yeah, it's recorded already, and I think Uros will.
Yes, I will share. A record link and everything. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sergey, or I'm not sure if I have pronounced it well. Sergey, you raised the hand also if you want to ask. Yeah, you're muted.
But he is mute on. His question is above.
Above. Okay. Do we need Service Bus for scalability? Could we just use direct function call? I mean, of course, you can use direct function call, but let's say Service Bus is a cool feature or cool service if there are many more small services. If you are building, let's say, a microservice-based architecture, so you will have more Azure functions which will be subscribed to the topic or to the queue, and then they will listen when the message come. They will know basically so which one will digest which message and what will do with that message, if it has to go to storage account, or if the message has to be written in Cosmos DB, or if you need to trigger logic apps for some workflows to do whatever they need to do, and so on and so on. So basically it's just for you, it's, let's say, more enterprise ready than just calling directly function call. And if the functions are warm all the time. So if you are using a consumption plan and pay as you go, so they are shut down, and whenever they need, so basically whenever they need to start so they don't cause the cost then. But whenever message comes, for example, it's up, and then it takes the message, process it, with the message whatever it needs to do, and then it's shut down, so not to consume your resources and not to make any costs further.
Yes, Igor, thank you very much for your presentation today, and very comprehensive approach, and everything what you deal with during this workshop. Okay, you can stay for your all question in the chat after when we finished this workshop, and try to answer for all your technical question.
Yeah.
And of course, I will share recording link for this session after this workshop, and I am looking forward our joint session in the future, and that is actually the first session from Meetup Serbia group, and of course in collaboration in the future. And once again, thank you very much for all of participants. If you have some question now for Igor, please don't hesitate to contact now, or via chat, or directly. And okay, you have a question for Alexa, please. If you have now time for answer, or your answer you can share after this presentation. Never mind.
Yeah. Good. No worries. I think I will share it after it, but maybe just quickly for the RM templates and Bicep. So basically, Bicep is open source. It's much more convenient to write it, to use it. I mean, it's all matter of how the Germans say Geschmack. So your taste, your what you like more. But I think the whole Azure is moving more in direction of Bicep than IRM. So IRM is more like it's getting old, and Bicep is, let's say, the future. So I would say like that. But you can use both of them.
Yes, that is a great answer for a question.
Yeah,
definitely. You have some advantages for one solution. You have some disadvantages,
exactly.
But the best option, you can use both of them. Yes.
Yeah, and there was also like if you can publish through the GitHub through the Visual Studio. Yeah, you can publish static web apps. You can publish Azure App Services, Azure Functions. You can do everything through the Visual Studio. You can even use Visual Studio directly in the GitHub itself. So that's also a cool feature on GitHub. So yeah, I don't know what else. So yeah, unfortunately, we had. I mean, it was 1.5 hour session.
Yes.
It's impossible to share everything, and even the troubleshooting and debugging, it's the worst part in every demo. It always has to happen.
Yes, of course. Okay, we can organize it also more this great session with Igor, and Igor stay for all our question. Yeah, it's definitely the end of this presentation. Thank you very much for this workshop, for all participants. Igor will be share all material. And once again, thanks Igor for this great workshop. I will share a link for recording session after this presentation. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you also. See you.
Thank you. Bye.